Hey guys, and welcome back to Diablo 3. We fought our way through the first level of the cathedral last time. Which, the cathedral looks small from above, but it's actually got a massive underground structure apparently. It's video game logic, you don't have to question it.
Foul minions, stay back! Back! May this ledge hold. The skeleton king?
The power of the fallen star awakened me, and soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones!
So as soon as they notice I'm there, they stop attacking Cain, which is nice. He literally can't die. Like, your NPC followers can never die.
Cain, I will aid you! Back to your graves!
And now here there is an achievement for killing the head cleaver guy before killing any of the others. But I've never gotten it, and I haven't gotten it this time either. Okay. Active skill unlocked, fire bats. So because of the way I'm playing, I will firstly I will get all the loot from this place. I can't get through that door yet, so I won't try. Okay, so these gloves here, they have a different effect. They make my health globes and potions a little stronger, but only +4 life, which isn't much, and they decrease my protection, so I won't use them.
Oh, thank you. But why did you risk yourself for me?
Because you needed my help. Come, I must return you to Leah.
Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is well. I feared the worst. I learned of this secret passage through old maps I found.
I believe I'm going to lose the zombie dogs. No, actually, I won't. Fire bats replace my grasp of the dead. That's okay. Eventually I will lose the zombie dogs, so that's just the way it is, but for now I get to keep them. Fire bats. They cost 140 mana initially, and an additional 42 mana while channeling. Okay, interesting. So I summon a swarm of bats. Deal fire damage. I sent my burning chester towards my enemies.
We must discuss the fallen star. Follow me to Tristram.
I will see if there's anything here first. And there isn't. So, again using the waypoint system, we can get back to New Tristram quickly.
I have kept my word to Leah and rescued her uncle Cain. I pulled him from the clutches of the skeleton king, who still holds the fallen star.
Alright, now finally he's gone. Actually, just to get rid of the star on the map, I will talk to Neck the Brawler. Brawling?
Some heroes are fighting each other in an area near here. Wanna go? Oh, and you didn't hear about it from me.
So that is PvP. And consequences.
Afraid of damaging your armor or weapons? That won't happen over there. In fact, no one even dies. Disappointing, really.
So this apparently is light-hearted PvP. You don't get your stuff damaged, which is nice. And I believe because no one even dies, you don't lose hardcore characters either. But I might be wrong there, so I don't know. But since I dislike PvP very strongly, I will not be doing it. Firstly, let's see if Leah's written a new journal. I will try not to miss any, so I might be going here a little more often than necessary. Okay, so she hasn't yet. I believe she will when we talk to her again. But I'll check out Deckard Cain's house as well. He also apparently hasn't written anything. Very nice. Well, nice. It just is the way it is. Leah.
Uncle, you're alive!
Thanks to you and your friend here.
I seek your wisdom. Tell me of the fallen star.
The prophecy of the end days surely points to it as a sign that the end has begun.
Please, Uncle, not more of your stories. All that matters now is that you're back.
Okay. So, Leah, we can now talk about the life with Cain.
I've spent most of my life traveling from place to place with Uncle Deckard, while he did his crazy research.
What does your uncle seek?
He's convinced that the forces of hell will invade our world and bring about the end times. All these years, he's still searching for a way to stop this apocalypse.
And Adria.
Do you have knowledge of your mother?
She wasn't from Tristram originally. She came here during the Troubles. She was in search of something, but I'm not sure what. She reminds me of Uncle Deckard, obsessed with the war between angels and demons.
Okay. And now Deckard Cain.
The Skeleton King was once our beloved lord, Leoric. He was driven mad by Diablo's evil. He lost both of his sons and his very soul before he was finally defeated. Now it seems he's risen to plague this land once again.
Leoric should be in the unformed land, yet he stands between me and the fallen star.
The key to defeating him lies in his old crown. Seek out our blacksmith, Haedrig. He knows of its whereabouts. Leah, you should not dismiss the signs so lightly. Do you not believe the evidence of your own eyes?
Horrors have visited Tristram before, and it endured.
But what of the texts? The Zakharum tomes warn of a falling star. The Haedrig scroll spoke of the dead rising, and the Lord of Lies. The prophecy of the end days says that at the end of all things, the first sign shall appear in the heavens.
Yes, you've been telling me about the texts since I was 8 years old, Uncle. I just don't think we should read too much into them.
Okay, so Deckard Cain, we can now talk to him. Who are you?
I am the last of the Haedrig. I couldn't always claim this. In fact, if I had turned to the Haedrig teachings sooner, Diablo could have been stopped before his reign of terror began.
You cannot believe this.
When the first signs appeared, I did nothing. I had shrugged the old tales off like they were so much fantasy. And Tristram, no, the world, has paid dearly for my arrogance. I have tried to make up for my failings. Leah and I have spent her lifetime scouring the world, collecting pieces of the prophecy of the end days. If I can decipher it, we will have the key to defeating the lords of hell.
Okay, I think just in reference to the old games where you could use Deckard Cain to identify all your unidentified items for free, still has that option, but I think it's now done with the Book of Cain. So you just click this and it identifies all your unidentified items. Now in the old games this was useful because I believe identifying stuff actually cost you scrolls of identification, which cost money or you had to find them. But in this game identifying is free anyway, so all this does is save you time, basically. But he's got more things to talk about. Your adopted niece.
The bond between you and Leah is strong.
I do not know what my life would have been like had I not raised her. Oh, it must have been difficult for Leah, following an old man on a mad search for the secrets to defeating the lords of the burning hells. But though she has seen her share of mysterious things, she is still unsure of my quest. I can understand. She has never seen anything like Diablo and his brothers.
Okay, 2 more. Prophecy of the End Days.
The prophecy of the end days is contained within the Haedrig tomes I inherited from my ancestor, Cain. It is a warning to those who could interpret it regarding Hell's ultimate invasion of our world, written by many different people throughout history, in many different lands. All known versions of the prophecy are incomplete. I have spent a good part of the past 20 years trying to complete it. I am certain it holds the answers to defeating the Lords of Hell.
Okay. One thing, as far as I know, you can't really see, like, find whatever this prophecy in the game, which is a bit disappointing. It's kind of like one of the less annoying things, I guess, about the Star Wars prequels, that there's like this prophecy about him being the one who brings balance to the Force, but you never actually hear the wording of that prophecy. You just hear people talk about it, which I don't know, considering all the junk they put into those prequels, they might have put a scene where someone reads that prophecy or gives the original wording or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Mad King Leoric.
Leoric's madness was caused by Diablo.
Leoric resisted Diablo's attempts to possess him, but the effort left him weak and confused. When his son Albrecht was kidnapped to be a vessel for Diablo, it destroyed any sanity Leoric had left.
After Leoric was the Skeleton King, what then?
He commanded an army of the dead deep within the cathedral, finally serving the Lord of Terror he had resisted while alive. Many adventurers tried and failed to slay the Skeleton King. It was left to Leoric's eldest son, Aiden, to finally kill the monster his father had become.
Okay. Which is Diablo 1 or 2? It's from one of the earlier games anyway. I don't see any more books here, but I believe there will be a new journal from Leah. And then we will continue with the quest, I promise. I'll make this episode slightly longer to make up for the time, quote-unquote, lost.
See, the problem is, they never should have named this place New Tristram. We wouldn't be getting attacked all the time if we were called, oh, I don't know, New Wellington, would we?
Fair enough. Yes, Leah's book. Tristram Journal Part 3, so I've already missed one, but I don't know when. Oh well.
Uncle Deckard is home, rescued from the clutches of the Skeleton King. I'm so glad. But the Skeleton King, I thought he was a folktale. The idea of Mad King Leoric returning to torture this place. Hasn't Tristram suffered enough?
Yes, I've got some... Don't touch anything unless you're buying it. I like to keep my inventory clean.
So... increase the attack speed. Meh. Okay, so I will buy this Scouting Sash of the Bear. Just because I can. And I will buy this Buckler because I can. And I will equip both of them. And now you see this one gives me 2 gold, and this one another 2.
Leah spent all night alongside the blacksmith's wife, tending the wounded.
What? She was out defending the gates this morning. What is driving that woman?
Did you hear? Old Rumford has us down to half rations. How are we supposed to fight if we're starving?
The rest of the town is down to quarter, including my wife. But you can quit if you want.
So, not the best of places to be at the moment. Again, this guy is only here because I've played through the game already, and he's done. So, just like the blacksmith, he is at the maximum level. But let's talk to Haedrig now.
Blacksmith, Deckard Cain said you could help me find the crown of Leoric.
Not now. It's my wife. She's locked in the cellar like all those who've been bitten. I'm to put them all down. But how can I kill my own wife?
It must be done, blacksmith. I will help you.
Thank you. Follow me.
I love that accent.
No one round here appreciates the work I put into acquiring these fine wares. It's not easy, I can tell you that.
Okay, so I'll buy this. And let's see what this does. Yeah, why not? Okay. Yeah, the stuff from the merchants is really only useful, like, early on in the game. Later on you will not be using it much. But this guy does sell stuff which I can't use yet. Let me just quickly, I guess, you've seen what I bought, but some of it has an increased chance of finding magical items, which is good. I do now have a 15% bonus to magic find, which is not much. It goes up, I think you can get it above 500, so much for that. But yeah, it's still a nice bonus to have. So sturdy boarded door. Let's see. So this is where the like the infected are kept, because
I'm sorry.
They suffer, blacksmith. Aid us.
It's like the usual zombie thing. A zombie bites you means you turn into one. It is nice that my zombie hounds...
My love, forgive me.
My zombie hounds,
Haedrig, help me.
they play the tank, basically.
I do not have enough mana.
Very nice. So I now have a better weapon.
I couldn't have done this without you. I'm in your debt. My name is Haedrig Aemon.
I need your assistance, Haedrig. I search for the crown of Leoric.
I can help you there. It's buried with his chancellor, my grandfather. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Will do, will do. Yeah, one thing I noticed, the fire bats cost me 140 mana initially and 42 mana while channeling. But I have a mana regeneration of 45, so...
Need more mana.
Apparently I can still not spam it, because the 42 while channeling is apparently not per second. It's quite costly, but mana does regenerate very quickly, as you see. Nope. I will play a little longer now, in a way to make up for the rather large amount of talking we had in this episode. And here you see my usual method for doing a complete exploration of a certain map.
Scavengers are ugly, pathetic creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses, too diseased to attract any other carnivores. I did once meet a raggedy fellow who claimed that he had trained one of the beasts to bring him large rats to eat. But I'm sure the story is utter nonsense.
Well, hey, hungry torsos. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. I did not use any health potions so far, which is it's not really the primary way to heal yourself in this game. At first, like until you start acquiring really good stuff, it's usually done with health globes and possibly some health on hit stuff. Oh, more retching cadavers, which are again guys that, or rather, I think they're women, vomiting out more zombies. Okay. Oh yes, my my method for exploration.
Need more mana.
I usually do a circle around the map, which tells me basically where the map ends, and then I kind of explore the stuff in the middle afterwards. Like that's what I do in these open areas. There's areas which are a little more cavey, so a little more tunnely, and
I need mana.
I handle these slightly differently, but I guess I'll tell you that when we come to a larger area. But since I said I will do full exploration in this playthrough, that's what I'll do. Which means, at least for the first time I go through an area, depending on when I end my episodes, I might have to go through an area again. The second time, I'm not certain yet if I will do full exploration again. Seems a little excessive and slightly boring. And I know a lot of people, when they're watching Diablo 3 stuff, they only they basically fast forward to the boss episodes, so that's also very understandable. I know I'm not the most interesting of commentators, which means
my power grows vast.
If you only want to watch the boss episodes, that's perfectly fine. Okay, now I've gotten a Poison Dart rune, so I'm switching to Poison Dart and using that particular rune, which makes me shoot more Poison Darts.
During the last days of King Leoric's reign, even the skeletons of the ancient dead could not rest. They took up their broken armor and weapons once more, ready to cut down anything that yet drew breath. Though wasted and fragile, these creatures possess a twisted cleverness that makes them quite formidable.
This does not have the same kind of AoE factor to it as the spiders did, but it feels a lot faster, and I believe it might do more damage against single targets. So possibly the better option against bosses. Now, one thing which I don't really consider a spoiler, but I don't mind if you tell me, like, what is the best quote-unquote build for a witch doctor and which skills I use by the top witch doctors. You can tell me that. I will not change my playstyle depending on that, though, at least not much. I like to just basically play my own way. I know the build I used on my wizard on the Inferno run is not something that is generally recommended. I know it has its limitations, but I like it, so I'm still playing that very build. Or at least something very close to it. I've switched out some skills.
A perfect strike.
But the point is, in this game in particular, there's very few builds which aren't viable, which is some would consider it an advantage, some a disadvantage. It depends on what you're looking for, I guess. But it's pretty much impossible to ruin a character, which I actually find a good thing. I've seen that in
I strike at your heart.
One of my favorite games ever, which is Guild Wars. It had the same attitude towards character building. So you could build a character that was complete junk. Like you could put like terrible skills on your bar. You could really mess up your attributes. But resetting and changing these was free. So whenever you were back in a town, you could just, without having to spend any kind of money, resources, respec points, respec potions, anything like that, you could just reset all of your skill points, all of your attributes, change all your skills around, so if you found out that what you were playing was bad, you could just change it without losing anything. And here we have another kind of elite mob. I will deal with them. Now, the ones we saw earlier, they were 3 or 4 enemies with a blue aura, which is a, I don't know, a champion group. Don't know what it's called exactly. The game has names for them, but I don't particularly care about that. And what we have here was a boss group. Again, I don't know if that's the proper phrase, but I'll just go with it. And I might change like the way I refer to these groups repeatedly, because I'm not very consequential about, I'm not very rigid about which phrase I use. But a boss group is basically one of those yellow golden aura bosses with a number of minions depending on the type of boss and the boss's abilities. And oh, we have a mini event. These are quite common. They're not real events, like you don't get event stuff from them. They're just stuff that happens when you come to a certain area. Sometimes they're surprising, sometimes they are fairly obvious traps, but they just add a little bit more life to the world, make it a little less just an area full of enemies which you have to kill. So here we have just normal champion, elite, whatever. Just normal scavengers, not a boss group, but a champion, elite, I don't know. The other kind of boss group anyway. And these are nightmarish, which means they have got the ability to knock me back. And the advantage of these guys, obviously, as you see, they have substantially better drops than normal mobs. At least for the time being, that is true. I know that in the very late game, depending on your settings, you can actually get more valuable drops from normal mobs, but it's beside the point. For now, what you have to care about is that these guys will always drop more items. They've got a certain number of guaranteed drops. And I think you're also guaranteed to get enchanted stuff, at least one enchanted item, so at least one blue item. And now, let me check my equipment quickly. So yeah, this is a lot better in terms of defense, so I'm equipping it. This isn't, and this isn't either. So, I will end this episode now. I made it a little longer because of the talking earlier on, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.